Hello out there in the YouTubeverse. It is Max, and I have Sam with me.
Hello. Hello.
There you go. And we are doing a Kamigawa quick draft here on MTG Arena. It is part of the decathlon event, and if you don't love this format, what is wrong with you? Do you play Magic? Seriously though, this format is great. It's a lot of fun. And I could not take an opportunity to record a sweet Kamigawa Neon Dynasty draft. Even if it is quick draft, which is not my favorite thing ever. My love for Kamigawa far outweighs my disdain for quick draft, which is not like the most disdain ever, but I don't love it.
I like it.
You like quick draft? What do you like about quick draft?
I can be slow.
You can be slow. You can take your time.
Which is not quick.
It's true. So, if you're not familiar with quick draft, it's a bot draft. That's the essential. You're drafting with robots. And then you play against people. And usually everybody's deck quality is a little bit higher because the robots are programmed in such a way that you can kind of see the obvious things. So let's take a look at our pack 1 here. We have Assassin's Ink jumps out at me here. Mechanaut is a cool card, but blue-red is kind of an underwhelming color combination in this set. Clawing Torment's decent, but not as good as Assassin's Ink. Okiba Reckoner Raid is arguably as good, if not better than Assassin's Ink, depending on what kind of deck you're playing. And those are the cards I think that really jump out at me looking at this pack. There's some like alright cards, Golden Tail Disciple, Dokuchi Shadow Walker.
Love that card.
Dokuchi, I guess is probably the more correct way to say it. I call it Dokuchi, which is a Garbage Andy reference, so kudos to him if you haven't checked out his channel. He's on Twitch. So are we. So check us out on Twitch if you haven't. Really appreciate the support if you can throw it our way. And if not, and you're just watching this, all right, let's take the Assassin's Ink. I think it's the most flexible if we want to get into multicolors we can. I like the Reckoner Ray because it's 1 pip, but I think the true way to go here is the removal over the pretty good enchantment / creature. Some good cards in this pack, man. Behold the Unspeakable is one of my favorite cards in the set. It's a really awesome card. Does a lot of relevant stuff. Really fun. Obviously playing more for the late game in this, but it pairs well with our Assassin's Ink to get us into the late game. I love Circuit Mender. I think it's an excellent choice, and that still leaves us open to go black-red. It leaves us open to go into a more long game style strategy like Behold the Unspeakable does. Tawashi Guidebot, this card is excellent. Again, another late game card. You can kind of see the themes of how I like to play this particular set. I think a lot of people would be eyeing up the Silver Fur Masters as a respectable choice. I'm not the biggest fan of ninjas. Network Disruptor is also pretty good. Again, for the ninjas. I'm not the biggest ninja fan. I don't think it's that good an archetype, and I think that it's very hand-dependent. Like, I don't think you have a lot of time, and I think once ninjas get back-footed, they tend to not be able to overcome it. So that's my argument against ninjas. I think I want Behold the Unspeakable, but blue is not the strongest color in this set. But I don't necessarily think that's a reason to take something like Circuit Mender or Guidebot, which I think are a little worse than Behold the Unspeakable. It's a really good card. Double blue and double black pip out of the gate is a little ugly. Or we could wait and see if red is open and try to go black-red, which seems like, from my observations of watching other people play the set, seems to be the open color combo. The bots don't seem to respect black or red cards too highly, so you can get some crazy stuff late. Ugh, this is tough. I think I'm just going to do what I want to do and take Behold the Unspeakable. We're here for fun. I'm not here necessarily to win the decathlon. By the time you watch this, it'll be a different decathlon event. So you're watching this because you love Kamigawa and you want to see cool shit. That's why I'm playing it, because I want to do cool shit. So let's do cool shit. Behold the Unspeakable is really, really good. I like Geothermal Kami as a follow-up to it because it's also really, really good. I like this card a lot. The Bamboo Grove Archer is also solid. Really good card. The Ambusher, again, had we taken the Silver Fur Master, would be the very, very obvious choice to take. Suit Up ended up becoming one of the more popular choices to take in blue-style decks because you can kind of surprise them and it replaces itself. So it's always kind of scary if they're leaving up 3 mana, one of it being blue, that could happen. Mobilizer Mech is okay. It's not like the best thing ever, but if you're going heavy into the blue-white vehicles, which ended up being a bit of a letdown of an archetype in the set, it's okay. Don't love Essence Capture, just counters a creature and puts a 1/1 counter on something. It's alright. Again, I think it's a little better served in the ninja decks, because I don't mind on 4th turn attacking, ninjutsuing in a creature, and then holding this up for their blocker that they want to get down desperately. I think that's a good place for it to be. But I want to take Geothermal Comics. This card's sweet. If I have to drop Assassin's Ink, so be it. I don't love that, but I don't hate that either. Generous Visitor is really, really good. That's probably going to end up being the card we take. It's also got very strange artwork, which I enjoy quite a bit. Very cool card.
A little reindeer guy.
It looks kind of like a squirrel with a mask on. It's really weird. And there's acorns and everything. It's a pretty wild piece of artwork, but it is a spirit. What else do we have here? Another Mechanaut, if we were going in that direction, would be really fun to take. Greater Tanuki is quite good. Being able to fix our mana, being a good win condition in a slow style deck is really nice. And Searchlight Companion I appreciate quite a bit. So we already have Behold, we have Geothermal Kami. We could maybe go Bant Enchantments if we take the Generous Visitor. So that's the direction I'm going to go, because I do think this card is just extremely powerful. And it can definitely win games in and of its own merits. So Blossoming Sands, a nice follow-up to that if we wanted to go Bant. I see a Sky Blessed Samurai here if we're going to go heavy enchantments. This is another enchantment creature. It costs less for each enchantment, and it flies and is big, which is real good. I don't like any of the blue cards in the pack. I do like the Jukai Preserver as a common quite a bit as well. Maybe could wheel that Blossoming Sands. Disruption Protocol, Light the Way, Futurist Sentinel are all pretty bad. This is pick 5. So it's going to go around the table. Yeah, I doubt Blossoming Sands is the card that's left. But I kind of like the Sky Blessed Samurai. It goes well with the cards that want enchantments, which are our 2 green cards. The enchantment we have with the blue card, it also in and of itself is an enchantment. It's a 3rd color, so it's definitely like could be safer and take the Preserver as an enchantment. And it's true. I'm at this point I think I've basically kind of moved away from the Assassin's Ink, because just double pip, and if we're this many colors, probably isn't going to happen, so we'll move off of that. And yeah, I'll take the Sky Blessed Samurai. I think there's the most upside here in that one. What do we have here? Another Geothermal Kami I'm not super interested in. Ecologist Terrarium helps in these many color decks. What else is in here that's cool? Nothing that blows me away. The Ninja's Kunai is not a bad one. In these kind of decks, you can generally sit behind something and just bomb them down. Tamiyo's Safekeeping is a nice way to preserve your strong creatures, like our Sky Blessed Samurai. I think I'm going to take the Terrarium. This lets us get many colors. It puts a 1/1 counter on if we get something that cares about modified creatures. So it kind of does good little role play in this type of deck. I see not much outside of this Grafted Growth. This isn't bad. This lets us fix our mana. It's a big deal. It's an enchantment. It lets us, again, modify creatures, which is really exciting. I'm not huge on the Subduer. It's okay. The stats are, like, not great for this set. It often will trade down. So I'll take the Grafted Growth. I see a Befriending the Moths here. I see a Jukai Trainee, which is like a pretty good 2-drop. Not amazing, but pretty good. Being able to block this is a card that does pretty well in the set to eat a lot of the smaller creatures. Like, it tends to trade up, so it's a pretty valuable card to have. This is an enchantment creature that is a samurai as well, so if we had a samurai synergy, we could use it. Befriending the Moths is probably the correct choice. It's a decent late game card, and we can kind of see it looks like blue's going to be our splash color, which is rough on a double blue card, but it's not out of the question. Commune with Spirits is probably the card I want to take here. Maybe Ninja's Kunai. If I want to balance my artifacts and my enchantments, that'll help as opposed to Commune with the Spirits. So this is such a good rate. 4 cards, enchantment or land. It's pretty good. We have 1, 2 artifact or 2 enchantments that become creatures it can find. Maybe I just take the Kunai to start. We'll take the Commune with Spirits. That could be incorrect. Holy crap. Circuit Mender and Guidebot both wheeled? Wow. That is surprising. Season of Renewal is also excellent in these decks. I'd be thrilled to pick one of these up, but I don't think now is the time over two what I consider to be better cards. Probably want the Guidebot because we're not sacrificing the Circuit Mender in this deck. And the Guidebot we just talked about are Ecologist Terrarium and Grafted Growth making for modified creatures. This does look at modified creatures, so it's got a good synergy there. Oh, wow. Archer Wield, that's fantastic. Suit Up Wield, I would have taken that if the Archer weren't here, but this is, again, an enchantment, and it can be used as flying removal, and we can pick it up if we need to turn it into that. It can be an early game blocker and then late game removal, so a lot of flexibility there. We'll take the Disruption Protocol, leave red open for the bots. Second Commune with Spirits, no, I'll just take the bad vehicle. Oh, Tameo Safekeeping, get in the deck. Okay, that was a decent pack one. We need to figure out precisely what we're doing here in pack 2, and gosh, it's a good pack that isn't going to help us a whole lot. Touch of the Spirit Realm and Michiko's Reign of Truth are both fantastic cards.
Is that good?
Yeah, Shigeki is really good as well. So you can return it to its hand and reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You can put a land from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Then you can channel it to return non-legendary cards from your graveyard to your hand. So it's a really good role player. It's an early blocker. It is an enchantment. So it's really, really good. And I think, so here's my thinking here. And again, this may be incorrect. It might be better to just take the straight up removal, which maybe it is because we don't have any. But to finish my line of thinking there is we may want the green because we know we're in green. Green is our main color 100% at this point. Mm-hmm. Where white, we don't know how white we're going to end up. I have no problem dropping Maws or Samurai if we had like a busted black card that came around and moving Assassin's Ink back in the main. We may end up dropping Behold the Unspeakable and going Abzan, so white, green, and black. And again, I have no problem moving Behold the Unspeakable. It hurts me a little bit, but I don't have any real problem moving Behold the Unspeakable into the board and going that direction. So I think Shigeki is going to be the way to go, as much as it pains me to pass something like Touch the Spirit Realm, because it is just hard removal for a creature or an artifact. So it's real good, but I'm going to take the early blocker, I think. That could, again, be incorrect. This pack doesn't have the most. It's got Mirror Box, which is a cool card, but not really a playable. It's just like a fun card, not really a good card. Selfless Samurai is alright. Another creature can get indestructible if you sacrifice it, so that's kind of nice. And also, if you get the Samurai activation, it gets lifelink. Golden Tail Samurai is fine. Modern Age is exciting. That's probably going to be the pickup here. Let us maybe start to shift a little bit more heavy into blue. We don't have a ton of auras to find with something like a Shrine Steward, but this is a good value card in a deck like this. So we'll take the Modern Age if it lets me and see what we can do from here. Oh man, several good cards in this pack. I see Harmonious Emergence, solid card. Fade into Antiquity, which is one of my favorite cards to take in this set. Roaring Earth, which is like a really impressive card that can go pretty crazy in the late game. And then another Generous Visitor. So I'm going to click over here and see what my enchantment count is. Currently 7. So I think we're going to take the Generous Visitor. Hope to maybe wheel this Emergence is my hope, I think. But we'll take Generous Visitor number 2. Green March, not very good. Azusa's Many Journeys is. Moon Circuit Hacker also is really good. With the double Generous Visitor, excuse me, he gets a lot more, or they get a lot more attractive. And this, I think, Commune with Spirits is out for now. This is really good card here. I do not mind speculating on these shrines, because it's a really cool deck, and we can easily support many colors. Azusa's Many Journeys is probably the correct card to take. Just a reasonable card on the whole. Oh, Hacker's so good, though. We don't have a ton of creatures that can attack early. That's my only hesitation from taking the Hacker. I feel like if we take the Hacker, it's gonna incentivize us to go in a different direction than we necessarily want to. But instead we get maximum punished by just getting another Azusa's Many Journeys, and I don't know as though we want to play multiple of them. Though it's possible. Yeah, it doesn't turn into a legendary enchantment or anything. Could take Circuit Mender. Just a good solid card, good blocker, gains us life, blunts aggro attacks. When it dies, draws a card so you don't lose anything. Preserver, again, solid card. Don't mind playing something like this. Maybe we just want Many Journeys. We'll try it. Many Journeys. Wow. Okay, I'm glad I took that now. If Generous Visitor wasn't here, I would probably be eyeballing the Network Terminal. This just works pretty well. Not the best. Right now, all we have for artifact creatures is Guidebot. But I feel like we probably would pick up 1 or 2 playable creatures along the way. But I'm going to take the Visitor and go to 3 of those. Let's look at Reliquary. This is artifact and enchantment. Is when it pays off at its best. We don't have the most. We have Terrarium and Guidebot right now for artifacts. Plenty of enchantments. That is for sure. We could take the Octopus, which is like solid role player, and also an artifact, which isn't too bad. I don't think we want another Terrarium. This dual land does not help, unfortunately. Careful Cultivation is not normally a card I consider. Mostly you take it to channel, but considering it's an enchantment and we just like got a 3rd Generous Visitor, it's maybe worth considering playing, even just as another 2-drop in the deck / something that can help us. And a reach creature on top of it's not bad. We have Befriending the Maws, Modern Age, and Bamboo Grove Archer, so we're not like super soft flyers. Feels like the most upside card here is the Acquisition Octopus. I guess we'll take that. It's tough, but I think we'll take that. We've seen a few things that want to pass off for artifacts anyway. Sunblade Samurai helps us find planes. It also can be cast if we have the planes. So that's not the worst card ever, but it's not the best card ever when white is kind of a tertiary color in your deck. Mnemonic Sphere is alright. I don't think it's anything fantastic. It's fine. But there's not really a whole lot for us here. Befriending the Maws number 2 doesn't excite me a ton. So I think I'm probably just going to take Sunblade Samurai. We'll see if it ends up making the cut. Pun intended. It's a samurai. There's Imperial Oath, which is a solid card. There's Repel the Vile, which we may need because we kind of just need removal. So if they have a big beefer, we can stop them. It's kind of a rough card to have to mainboard. But it's not the worst because of the enchantment part of it, and enchantments are pretty prevalent in the set, as you can see. The Oath is just a really nice finisher. And the Scry 3 is such a value play that I can't really pass that. There's the Shrine Steward. We were talking about that previously. I think I just want Bearer of Memory for curve consideration purposes. It's another enchantment creature. It plays well with other enchantment creatures. It just kind of, it's okay. Like, I'm not thrilled to have it in the deck, but I'm kind of happy to have it at that point. We did, in fact, wield the Harmonious Emergence, which I'm really happy about. So we will be taking that for sure. Nothing here for us, so we'll just take, I think I'll take just the Planar Incision as opposed to another Commune with Spirits. Clawing Torment and Spell Pierce. None of this is really great. I do like the Spell Pierce art, so I'll take that for pauper reasons. Oh, this is Phantom. It doesn't matter. You're allowed to talk before I do that.
You did it kind of quick.
Excuses. Oh, man. How to get a decent black rare? Like a pretty above rate black rare?
No.
I'm looking. I'm allowed to look. I mean, like, we're not losing a ton if I drop blue.
It's double pip.
Yeah, but then I'd be putting in another black and we'd just be black. We'd be Abzan instead of currently Bant.
What does it do?
If you control an artifact and enchantment, you can do both. Exile a creature or planeswalker, return a creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty good. It only costs 3.
You don't have very much artifacts.
No, I do not.
But you would be getting 2 removals because you put in the black removal.
Right. You'd be doubling up on removal versus card advantage, a selection plus a creature, and card advantage.
Maybe it would be worth it if nothing else in the deck.
Right. But there's a lot of good other cards too we can highlight. Web Spinner Cuff is a solid piece of reconfigure. It doesn't look the greatest, but it actually does a lot of work in this set. +4 is an absolute ton of toughness, and the fact it gives reach makes it really annoying if the opponent's trying to win through tempo in this sky. We already talked about the strength of Moon Circuit Hacker, and we have since picked up a fair few more small drops to go with the Hacker. Tranquil Cove would also help us in this current color configuration. What if we drop white? I think we lose the least dropping white. So we could go Sultai. Sultai Poop, my favorite. Then we're just in a rough spot because we have one double blue card and we'd have two double black cards, as opposed to right now we have just kind of clean. But white's not doing the most for us. We're losing one enchantment. We don't gain back an enchantment with black. This is a really tricky pick. It leads me to believe we probably want the Web Spinner Cuff, but I feel like if we don't take the Soul Transfer, we're abandoning black. Like, we don't consider black again.
Well, how much removal do you have currently?
Very little is the problem.
Because you would be getting, if you went black, you'd have 2 removals.
At double black cost. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of rough. We have Terrarium to fix our mana, Shigeki to find us land, and Grafted Growth to help fix our mana. Right now we have no the land that comes in tapped and you pick a color. We don't have any of those, and we have 0 dual lands for anything we're doing. It feels like if we take black, we're going to have to put a heavy emphasis on taking those lands. It feels like if we take Web Spinner Cuff or Moon Circuit Hacker, then we can continue. Then we need to prioritize removal and hope we see it. So this is a very difficult pick. Like, we know Web Spinner Cuff makes the deck, no matter what configuration we end up going in. And then I feel like once we get rid of this, we're abandoning black at that point. So we're solidified in Bant. But we already have a fair few amount of ways to stop flyers, so I'm not as concerned with that. We have no way to return instant or sorcery, so we can't get a ton of value off the Soul Transfer other than it just being a good piece of value there. We could end up picking up the green card that does the same thing. So maybe we just hope for that and we take Web Spinner Cuff. Alright. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's decent. That's pretty great. Nothing here I'm giving up for taking Modern Age, I don't think.
That's an enchantment, too.
What's that?
Moon.
I know. I just don't think the odds of us getting it down for its full advantage seem low, where this just you play it, and it's full advantage. Yeah, I think I'll take this over Network Terminal. There's the Season of Renewal I want. I hope it wheels. It lets you get a creature and an enchantment, and you can do both. I feel like I need the Modern Age. Reign of Truth here. It's going to be hard-pressed to find a better card than shit.
Removal.
Removal, yeah, and I kind of have to take it. This card's a beating. Like, it's so good. In this deck, it would be absolutely absurd as well. Mm-hmm. We have 13 enchantments currently. We have 23 cards.
I played with that card when I played.
Yeah, it's really good. This I feel like we kind of need because we don't have a lot of it. Because it's hard to be like, oh, we're just going to be very, very proactive. But we have some cards like Harmonious Emergence that can kind of like double up. It's like, and we have some fat. Not a ton of fat, but some. Oh, it's another extremely hard pick. Pack 3, completely punishing. Ugh, I hate myself for having to do that. If it's the correct choice, it's the correct choice. And then there's Mod, which is I don't want any of this. What do you do? I think this is decent. That's an artifact, so not good for us. It is a cool-ass card, but it's not good for us. Oof, yeah. Nothing in this pack makes the deck. So we'll take the Skyscraper. I might need the fat. I'll leave it in there for now. Man, Imperial is coming around like you wouldn't believe. Searchlight Companion. Over. Let me rediscover the Impossible just to remember. No. Probably just Searchlight Companion. Not losing out on anything. Of course, no dual land in that pack. We have not seen many dual lands at all. Yeah, we'll take Tanukes here. That's just going to make the deck for sure. Help fix our mana and a win con at the end of the day. That's exactly what we're looking for. There's an Uncharted Haven. There is a Grafted Growth. We're going to take the Haven. We already are talking about cuts, so there's no... When we can take a land at this point, we're going to. Ugh, nothing here for us, unfortunately. Favor of Jukai is too expensive, even in an enchantment-based deck, so Can't really take that. Planar Incision, we already have one of. Geothermal Kami, Papercraft Decoy, to a far lesser extent, Network Disruptor. It's all left in the pack. I'll take this just in case we want it. Yes. Lucked out. I'll take the other Emergence again just in case. Though we could take Short Circuit. It's not like a bad little card to flash in and just shut off an early attacker. Though I don't think we're going to be necessarily super blue. I'll take it just in case. Nothing here at all. Still nothing here. Largely going to be the case going forward. I cannot believe we only got one land. That's surprising. I figured we'd pick up at least two. Like, without trying. We only got one land. Granted, it was a reasonably easy take. But usually you have two or three of those in a draft. But maybe the bots are prioritizing the lands a little higher. Okay, so we have 5 cuts to make. So let me spread some things out. What if we cut white?
Well, then you're losing your
removal. If we cut white, add black, it's much harder to cast spells.
What about if you cut blue?
Cut blue, we lose 2 Modern Age.
4 cards.
We lose Behold the Unspeakable, Octopus. Octopus I'm fine losing. It's already on a crowded 3-drop anyway, and I don't think it's going to do that much for us. So I'm fine losing.
It is 3 enchantment cards if you cut blue, though.
Right. I'm fine keeping this the way it is. I don't think we're like gonna lose. Like I'll happily cast Modern Age on turn 9. I'll happily cast Behold the Unspeakable on turn 9. I'll happily cast them on curve. So to me, that's the hallmark of a good tertiary color. White has similar, but to a lesser extent. Skyblessed Samurai and Befriending the Maws are both fine. Sunblade Samurai probably gets cut. Mm-hmm. Though it could help us hunt for white specifically. We don't need it too badly. I think we're fine here. We have Terrarium. We have the Grafted Growth.
How many creatures do you have?
That's a good question. Let's separate by creatures and take a look. A decent amount. I mean, those count the ones that inevitably turn into creatures as well.
19.
Let's see. Tameo Safekeeping could go, because I don't know as though there's one big creature we really want to keep alive that desperately. This is not probably going to cut the mustard. It's one of these two, basically, we need to cut from our top end. We have 2 creatures that do ostensibly the same thing.
Definitely that one.
You like this one?
They're getting rid of that one.
Yeah, you'd like this one more than... I do like the art on this one. It's so cool.
Yeah, because that's one less for each enchantment. I think you're going to have that more than modified creatures.
Yeah, it seems that way. We're not putting a ton of counters on things. Okay. 42 at this point. Trying to avoid cutting enchantments as much as I can, though I don't have to, per se.
The buy is an artifact.
Yes, but it's a very good artifact. Befriending the Maws could probably go. It's just not impressing me.
2/4 flyer, card creature gets...
It's slow.
Yeah, it's not that great. It is an enchantment, though.
It is. Now I'm just looking at... Because this is technically a creature. Because it turns a land into a creature. This is technically a creature because it makes 3 creature tokens. So I'm looking at Ecologist Terrarium versus Tameo's Safekeeping, I think. Right now we have 2 white, 3 white cards. We have 3 blue cards. Tameo's Safekeeping, probably. Yeah. The trick is nice, but it's not imperative to this deck's main win condition. We're not leaning on... If we had a completely busted card, I'd be more willing to play it. But we don't. So I'm not. Awesome. So let's get to rolling. Big thanks to everybody who's hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it. hit you with the YouTube stuff. Please like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. If not, it's alright too. Just happy you're here with us. Really appreciate you taking the time on the content. And if you have any comments, we'd love to improve it if possible. We're going to go first. We're going to keep this hand. Modern Age for sure, but what do we draw? Or what do we discard is the question. Feels like probably Tanuki if we draw.
What's the channel for the Tanuki?
Search for a basic and put it on the battlefield tapped. This looks like an aggro opponent. Not that's a little judgy to say, but we could throw. I mean, like Grafted Growth and Tanuki do basically the same thing.
Okay.
So we'll get rid of Tanuki and hope to buy it back a little later if the game goes long.
What does growth do exactly?
You enchant a land, you put a 1/1 counter on a creature, and then the land taps for 2 mana of any color. I think we can discard Forest at this point. It's a little tough. What's our play? Web Spinner Cuff, most likely. And then next, the following turn would be land 4. So we could go. No real good double spell opportunity here. So let's get rid of Forest. Okay. Get down Bamboo Grove Archer. And then we also flip Modern Age next turn. Just want to make sure we have a blocker for the Selfless Samurai. Happy to play Grafted Growth next turn to put a counter on our flyer. I was going to say, if there's an attack, likely a trick here, but I don't know if we can play around that. Okay. I think we want the Grafted Growth. Seems like they have a removal spell. Likely going to hit our Vector Glider when I target it, but it is what it is. I want to get the extra point of damage in combat if I can. Okay. Okay, just a Sunblade Samurai. That works for me. Opponent's deck is quite strange. I guess they're Samurai? Maybe they're just 2 or 3 color Samurai. It was definitely an underwhelming strategy in the format, but newer players don't necessarily know that, and also the way the bot drafts work, it could have gotten a lot better. So, happy to find out. This into Many Journeys doesn't really do a whole lot. This into Web Spinner Cuff also does not do a whole lot. So I guess we attack. Might be just damage to an attacking creature. They've been holding up their mana pretty meticulously. Okay, exile target enchantment. Sounds good to me. So then maybe we do go Many Journeys. I think we'll just
first.
Yeah. I'm going to be mana efficient, I think, and just play the Web Spinner Cuff. Like, Azusa's doesn't do a whole lot for us, considering we can't really land drop excessively. But it's not a reason to not play it. But we'll see what they do. We have the Generous Visitor that can... What do you do, Crazy Art? You may cast an artifact card from your graveyard this turn. None of those. Okay, 1 land away from that. Many Journeys. We could Geothermal Kami to pick up the Bamboo Grove Archer, but that really doesn't do a whole lot for us. So I think we'll just Many Journeys. Just get a big 5 butt. And we're definitely fine just chilling here. Like, I don't feel like I'm under a lot of duress from the Samurai deck. So I'm happy to just kind of leave out the Generous Visitor and synergize as much as possible. Okay, they have no modified creatures as it stands. Do this in case they have a trick. I guess it really doesn't do a whole lot except for the trample part. Okay. They're happy to trade. I'm happy to accept.
They have another.
That's fine. Is it legendary? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. What would be nice is using the geothermal kami to pick up the Behold, the Unspeakable, and recast it. So they get in for 1 damage here. Yeah, I'll take 1. Well, I do have the Grafted Growth, so I have anything I need. No need to shut off a creature, I don't believe. Yeah, I'll just take a 4/4. So I could have played the Uncharted Haven. It is worth noting. So reconfigure cost on that is 4. Sorry if that's registering. That's my mouse cord. Let me plop the weight on that. It's like up here is good. That works. Thank you. Apologies if you thought you were going insane. It was just the cord scraping against the side of my monitor. I have a little bit of a new setup, new work desk. Same size, but it's a standing desk. Blade Blizzard Kitsune. Do I have to worry about that? Probably?
Double strike.
So it taps. They can cast an artifact. They have none. And it gets lifelink. So double strike and lifelink. I just don't think I care, right? My board is just a bunch of fat. So I have 1 enchantment, 2 enchantment, 2 enchantment, 3 enchantment. Don't believe I can cast. And I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Would not be cheap enough to double spell here. So I should play Uncharted Haven. Doesn't really matter what I name.
Green or blue, probably.
Yeah. I think this is probably the best play long term. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana going into the next turn, which is enough to do this. And dump our hand next turn. Looks like they're itching to remove something. But that's fine, because we're looking for an arrest target anyway. And the Kitsune is a ninja, is that right? Okay. And this is Samurai or Warrior, so it doesn't get the triggers. And the Samurai or Warrior has to attack alone, so the ninja's not allowed to get in combat. Feels like a trick to me. What am I happy with them trading? Or what am I happy trading them? Probably the Kami. +1/+1 is good enough for them on this Kami, but I think that's fine. That's just fine. That's a nice card. Just kind of punish them a little bit here. Got a lot of damage coming in. And their follow-up is pretty anemic. Like their combat step. Okay.
To get rid of.
The Web Spinner Cuff, which is interesting. I guess they're afraid in the late game of us reconfiguring it. There's not much they can do here, though. Their attack step is bad. Like, they can tap a creature, which means we can't triple block Heiko. And that's about it. It's the only thing that's eligible to attack. Really? Yeah. So they get a 1 point of lifelink here. No blocks, you got me. Don't think we need any of these. Non-legendary cards. Could bring back quite a few things with it. I guess that's good enough. Good enough, he says. This is also quite good.
One on your companion.
It's maybe a little aggressive, but four just trades with double striker, so I'm not super interested in that. Where right now 1/1 chump blocks. Okay, good luck. Next turn I can use Bearer Memory to give my Skybliss Samurai flying, so a flying blocker doesn't do it. Still dead.
Lifelink, right?
Yes, still dead though. Happy to take it. Okay. A little different than your deck from the other day.
Way slower.
Yeah. This is my speed of Kamigawa. Nice and slow. Nice and slow, ever avalanching card advantage.
You didn't like ninjas. I thought you liked ninjas.
I'm not saying I dislike ninjas, period. I do like ninjas. My favorite Pauper deck has Ninja of the Deep Hours prominently featured. I do not like ninjas in this limited as much as I like playing the dirtle nonsense that I'm playing currently. Opponent goes first, so if they're on aggro, this could be very bad for us, but I don't think I can like sensibly pitch this. Green-white doesn't scare me too much, and there was no 2-drop. You know, the good one. Jukai Naturalist? It's been a while. Okay. All 3 colors, you know. Just doing it. I guess we'll put this out there to trade. I like that better than Searchlight Companion. Just take 2 to the dome. Green-white enchantments versus Bant enchantments. They're going to pick up the Golden Tail. They are. Give up a little bit of tempo. Okay. I think we want this.
That was nice.
Yeah. Definitely worked out. I guess I offer the trade. It's pretty honest. You trade? Could have probably gotten away with the 3 damage, but they may want to trade for. They may want to just swing back for 4. They're at 23, so they may just be happy taking it here. We gain 3, and if I take their 4, I gain 3 off of Azusa's, so it's like 19 to 20, and then they tap when we get to attack with the companion, most likely, and we're kind of both a parity again, just at a lower life total. Yep, exactly what we talked about. Ooh, they have a follow-up. Bamboo Grove. Okay, we don't get in our point. Okay. For sure, blue. Kami Rude Boy. I think we want. Pick up Azusa. I think that's fine. So the Golden Tail Disciple's got a bad attack against their Geothermal Kami. If they attack with Geothermal Kami, I think we just trade with Bearer of Memory. If they attack with both, I would block as described. Okay, there's some stuff going on here. We can just Imperial Oath and just try to get some stuff. We could Behold the Unspeakable to try to go over the top. Green and white usually can deal with enchantments a little easier. We could swing with Kami plus Bearer to see what they do. Can activate as well if they block badly. It's a tough call. I guess we go for the attack because we're looking like Imperial is probably the right play.
What can Bearer do?
I can put a +1/+1 counter and give trample if it's an enchantment creature. So it could do that to itself, or it could put a +1/+1 counter on Geothermal Kami. I was going to say, that's not the block you want to be making. Bamboo Grove Archer, you kind of just stall me out. And this looks like I have a trick here, for sure. Wow. Did not expect to get in 7 damage. Good for me. I don't think we want another Azusa's. Do we want Generous Visitor? Maybe we want Generous... Okay. They are upset. It is like...
I mean, they just took 7 and then got...
Yeah, then we scryed 3.
Right.
They have 3 cards in hand. We have 3 cards in hand. It's pretty gross. I think we probably would have kept Visitor plus Azusa's, is what I was thinking. Just because it would have been good to draw that. We could have played Modern Age or Behold. Then the following turn we could have played Modern Age and Azusa's. And just flooded the board with enchantments. 3+1/+1 counters. It would have been pretty hard for the opponent to overcome. Sure. Searchlight Companion. Visitor on 1, Searchlight on 3. Kami or Emergence on 4. Put a counter on the Searchlight Companion. It's at least a plan. I don't think we die to aggro, potentially. Though only Cold Anvil changes things. Green. Okay. Jukai Trainee.
What's it do in a box?
Attacks or blocks. Blocks or becomes blocked. +1/+1. It's from the original Kamigawa. There's an ability called Bushido, and Bushido also produced a number. So like Bushido 2, Bushido 3, Bushido 1. It was exactly that, but the number dictated the ++. Ew. We do need a plan. Land would be ideal here, because they're going to put that on the trainee. Or no, it puts it on itself. Land is good. I would even take same color land. Kami. Pick up Bamboo Grove Archer? No, because it's not an enchantment. We need an enchantment, right? Nothing reaches. Just kind of need to keep pressuring them. The sky is the best way to do it. Land would still be good. I'd still take land here. Go Shintai Grow. Grow Shintai. I would take land. I said that. Okay, that's not bad. So where does this counter go? Probably on the Harmonious. Just to spread out the number of modified creatures we have. And this would let us take out the Go Shintai by itself, so maybe it's just better on the companion. Ugh, this is tricky. Much like rocking a rhyme that's right on time. They can double block. Okay.
I like the vigilance on it.
Yeah, it's good. And it's still a land. It could tap for mana. One more modified creature, and I think we could, in theory, tap this to use this. You got me. Not gonna bother doing the thing. They've been doing good with their Go Shintai, but they gave up a lot of damage on that attack. Could draw a card. We have 2 modified creatures, so we'd pay 2 to draw a card. Okay. I mean, they can keep the Go Shintai big and try to kill us that way. It just seems like racing-wise, we have them dead quicker than they have us dead. Pick up nothing? You can't pick up the Go Shintai. I was gonna say can't be. 3 cards, huh? That's rude. Draw a card. Okay. Does this do anything? I don't think it's a threat yet, so I'm not...
Do it next turn.
Yeah, I'm not in a rush to do this. Then I think we Kami Rude Boy. Pick up Bamboo Grove Archer. 23, it just makes it so unlikely that they're going to be able to get us. Totally fine with that attack. They're just... What are the cards in their hand, though? Should spread out that one counter. Because now I only have 3 modified creatures. It's on me. It's alright, though.
Gonna do it?
No, because I would have done it pre-combat. I'll just hold up Guidebot. I had plenty of blocks. It was my fault for kind of thinking of all the things I could try to play around. Kind of don't even care what this is.
Double strike.
Okay. So you're dealing the same amount of damage, except you get to gain 3 life off of the... Like, they have to pick up Goshintai in order to use the Kami to gain 3 life, and they need to gain 3 life? Really? I just need to put all the... They're tapped out? Okay. They did the... They could... I'm just... And the only reason I didn't want to oops, just to clarify, I hate the oops, I still had these. I just wanted to make sure that I wanted them to know, had they picked up the Goshintai like they should have, I still would have killed them. I didn't want to oops, I still had all these cards. That was a weird game. I feel like opponents' draws just didn't come together super well, but I'd love to know what the last 2 cards in their hand were.
I think they put too much into that Goshintai.
When they didn't pick it up with the
And they didn't even
Kami,
attack with it or anything.
No, they didn't. When they did not pick it up with the Kami, I was stunned. I was like, what? Opponent goes first. We get Uncharted Haven for blue on 1, green on 2, Azusa's Accelerate into Geothermal Kami, pick up Azusa's. Seems good. It's a lot of life. Black. We want this on blue. Getting our grindier cards, but opponent's not rushing us yet, so that's nice to see. Blue. Okay. Blue. Am I worried about them countering? Not especially.
If you draw a land, that'd be nice.
If I draw a land, it'll be good. You don't have to whisper.
I'm not intentionally. When I first start talking, it's quiet.
If you draw a land, it'd be really good. Just say. Hey. Just say. Do I want to offer a trade? I think no, because I don't have a follow-up that's a creature threat. But now I will attack. Willing to trade back 1 lifelink. Though, I guess I should have thought about them being ninjas and not offered them a chance to ninjutsu. So that's fair. Fair mistake. That is on me. If I get ninjutsu'd, it's on me. Because they just need an unblocked creature ninjutsu, so... I did not think that through. Okay, that's fine. Honestly, probably one of the least punishing things they could have done. I think I'd take 1 of these maybe. Though I have 6, I just feel like I'm gonna get them.
Okay, never mind.
What?
I was gonna say because you could have played the extra. If you played.
If I play Azusa's, yeah. I'm not super worried about that. I feel like I need to attack again, but then I want a creature to back up, and I just don't have those things. So that's a little frustrating. I could like play this, put a counter on it with Terrarium, but that's going pretty deep. White, I suppose. This feels aggressive to get that, especially when we know they're holding another ambusher. I don't want that. Still take 4 for 3. I still am ahead in that race. Especially with Azusa about to gain me 3 life and negate their other attack. I mean, if they have a busted ninja, which is very, like, there's a chance, certainly, that they have a very busted ninja. I was going to say, it's not really a whole lot here that behooves them. Calling Torment's fine. Is that just, yeah, okay, that was a leaf. That's weird. I feel like it's Generous Visitor. This is tough.
I know that thing.
Because I'm thinking about drawing, or I can't draw a card with Guidebot. I don't want to minimize the cards in my hand, but I am thinking about possibly Vision of the Unspeakable getting a counter here. Because it can only activate as a sorcery. I hate putting my eggs in one basket against a like potential removal spell, but I think disincentivizing their attack here is worthwhile. Yep. I think we have to block one. As much as I don't want to lose the Guidebot, I do have Season of Renewal, so I'm not super duper worried about that. The fact they exiled's rough, though. Okay. So I put the counter on the Likeness of the Seeker because I'd rather them use a removal spell on it than the Vector Glider. I don't want to put too many eggs in the Vector Glider basket. Like, I'm much more comfortable just blocking like this. If they have a trick, so be it. They can't ninjutsu. It's just, yeah, totally fine. No problem. You got me with the suit up. I don't mind that much at all, especially with a Shigeki that I can use to return non-legendary cards. And they may have a follow-up. Ooh, Silver Fur Master, okay. Well, okay. Do I want Generous Visitor? I think the answer is probably yes with the Tawashi Guidebot out. I think I'll play Many Journeys. Plenty of blockers here. I think Guidebot's done for. That's kind of okay, because Vector Glider plus Generous Visitor with what we have in hand is certainly enough to win a game. I'm not sad about that. Snare Specialist bounce a token? That's fine. Don't care about that even a little bit. So use the entire card to deal with 1/3 of mine. And what other card is going to do that? Is it another suit up? No, because I only have 2 mana available. Return to action. Just trade. Fine with me. Recursion spell, nothing. Okay. We could use it as just the creature. Yeah, let's do that for now. Put a counter on Vector Glider.
You're gonna arrest the specialist?
I don't believe so, but it does beg the question of if I'm going to attack this way, should I? For double blocking purposes. Or like for blocking purposes, because my blocks are pretty bad against it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I leave Vector Glider home? No, I don't think we can afford that. Yeah, I think your notion's the right one, sadly. The awkward post-combat. Put on the guide bot. May I have a removal spell here? Oh, okay, that's totally fine. Do not care. So we use Shigeki. The worst thing they could do here is kill Shigeki on this upcoming turn. Guidebot, we can draw a card at instant speed. Once Shigeki has loses summoning sickness, we're in good shape. Third ambusher. I don't care. Gravelighter enters the battlefield. Draw a card if each player died the turn. Otherwise, each player sacrifices a creature. Okay.
I hate how long that stays there.
What?
When your enchantment transforms.
Vector Glider.
How long these games are.
Yeah, that's my fault. I'm playing a dirtily deck. Oh, they have a third color. Ooh, a good card. He hit me. That'll help against the flying unspeakable. Target a land, we'll target this forest, pay 3. 1/1 counter on Vector Glider. 1/1 counter on likeness. Do I want to recast? I think I can get away with it one more time. No, maybe I can't. 7 cards in deck. We need to win the game pretty quickly, huh? Nothing that threatens. Okay. I didn't realize we had 7 cards in deck.
Mill yourself out.
Looks like it.
Well, can't you get cards back with that?
To my hand. That's going to be the plan going forward. But we have to get Vector Glider to the point where we can beat the Unspeakable and hope that they don't have a removal spell in the meantime. 19 cards in deck for them. Yep. -1/-1 on the Generous Visitor, I wager. Yep. So they're going to gain more life. They can't attack with Ambusher. We can't draw any more cards. Okay. So what's the follow-up? Don't think we're winning this one.
Too dirtily.
It's not over yet. Okay, just naked. Crackback I kind of don't care about. Interesting. Okay. Not real sure what that was about. So we have 11 coming in. They have 3 cards. Any one single card makes vision smaller. Dekuchi.
Such a good card.
I think we just go like this. And they're going to flip this. So I think we play this. Then we have enough to return a decent little bit as in capture. Wow. Yeah, that's fine. Cards 5. Okay. I think this is enough time to win the game if they don't have an answer to Vector Glider. It's in there. Don't think I care about that right now. Okay. There we go. So it's going to put a counter on Vector Glider at the end of turn free. And then from there, could have attacked and seen what they done. So, scrape that out.
Gotta pay attention to your cards and names.
I wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest. I think they were, I mean, how much did they gain off of ambushers in that game? Probably 12 life.
Mm-hmm.
Opponent goes first. We have Tanukes. Azusa's into Tanukes, I think, is a good enough reason to keep this hand, even with our double blue card. See? This deck loves us. I haven't said that in a long time. I just love this format. It's so cool. Terrarium for blue. This opponent's not really doing anything.
I don't have white, but...
Yeah, but I'm not super worried about arrest yet. I was going to say, just tap out here. It's a good card.
What does this go Shintai do?
Currently control 1 shrine. Each sacrifice a creature. It's an odd choice, but sure. I think I'll just take them both. Okay. Probably just discard Forest here.
Could have played it.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You have the...
Very aggressive.
Okay. This seems great to me, that they're using all their removal on our small ball stuff. Okay. Probably just Biggie for now. If they're casting that here, it leads me to believe they probably don't have hard removal spell. So that's good news for us. Yeah, moving to end step. Leaving up. Not even double block.
Maybe they have Death Touch though.
Go Shintai?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I trade though? Hold for now. Do I want the emergence on a tap land? I'll hold for now in case I want to go visitor into emergence. Discard a card. Do I just get rid of the arrest? I'll just get rid of the visitor. They're probably like, whoa, what's in their hand? Double visitor.
Well, they can just kill it with that.
I know. The Go Shintai's not really... Like, we have to cast in the same turn as a... is it Death Touch and Menace? Just Menace, right?
Don't say Death Touch, yeah.
Menace and...
If you control an artifact.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I knew it got it somehow. Death Touch and Menace. I was thinking Death Touch and Lifelink initially, but it's Death Touch and Menace. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's good.
I think it's the bubbles.
That's
I heard it
weird.
Too.
Kind of just have to clear the board a little bit, I think, here. Yep, that's a good double block. We'll kill the Futurist. And then we can arrest the creature here off of the long reach. Frisky. I'm okay with this.
What's that get? Would it be a 5/4? Would that have been a 5/4 when they attack?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't go. Yeah, can't really attack Kami Rude Boy unless they have a follow-up. What is this? Suit up. Cycle it. Oh, Ninja. Takuchi. Everybody playing Takuchi.
Because it's a gray card. Even though you don't agree.
It's not, but sure. I think
the land you can. Oh no, you can't because it has summoning sickness.
That's summoning sickness, and I don't want the unspeakable to go down too far. Right now, we're looking to have lethal very quickly. One card would put me up to 5 damage in the air. If that card were to put 1/1 counters like Grafted Growth, that'd be lethal. So they can attack me with Takuchi and probably Blade Blesser.
Has Death Touch now.
I'm going to reconfigure onto Blade Blesser.
It'll be a 5 too, right?
Do I don't think I want to double block the Blade Blesser, so I think I'm just taking 8. 8 and 8, 16. It's a toughie. I could just block the Takuchi and say, okay, if they attack like that, I'm just not blocking.
Could kill it.
I know, but do I want to trade?
But you trade both of them, right?
Right. Okay. There's no lifelink here, so it depends on their follow-up here, which is nothing. Oof.
Have them at 1. If you attack with those.
I know, but the counterattack.
Well, they counterattack.
10 for 13. If they have a removal spell, if they have 2 removal spells, we're done for. It's a 2-turn clock. I don't love Vector Glider as a blocker, but it is what it is. They have to answer Unspeakable and Vector Glider potentially. See what they have here.
Manually tapping.
Yeah, scary. Reconfiguring into a creature. Okay. So there's a 4th creature. Leads me to believe there's a removal spell here.
Looks like it. This one.
Tap up to 2 creatures, don't untap during their turn. So we block Takuchi at this point. We take 3, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Can you block and then draw a card?
Yes. Okay.
And they're just dead. Unless they can remove.
Yeah, for 1 black, I don't think they're killing Vision of the Unspeakable. I don't think they're going much for 1 black. Anger DC? Seems unlikely at 0 wins, but... Or 0 losses, excuse me.
Their timer hasn't even started though. It seems a while.
They have 3 timeouts.
Yeah, but we haven't seen it.
I'm still connected. It's because it's in their main phase. I think you get longer in your main phases. There it goes. Starting to get it's like I'm connected. Really upset about that? Seems weird, but sure. Maybe they're upset they misdid the math. Odd, but you're allowed to do what you want in this game. Andrew's a fish, indeed living up to his name, acting like a fish. Well, good news, Andrews Fish. You get to be on YouTube and do this. Isn't that fun? Everybody knows you're a jerk. So while opponent times out, let me YouTube hit you again. If you like this content, waiting for ropes, please consider liking and subscribing. And don't play against Andrew's Fish because they're lame and they get upset when they lose. Yeah, salty. Salty as fish. We are here every Thursday with a new video on YouTube. We are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/superliminalfilms every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Usually with Arena. 90% of the time I'd say it's Arena content. And then the second Saturday of every month, we come at you with a new extra fun stream for fun. We play often a bunch of laughy games, Jackbox, What the Dub, Rift Tracks, that kind of stuff. Golf with friends, something Magic unrelated. Though sometimes if there's a cool Magic event on Arena or something going on, we will indeed do it because that's how we do. So thank you all so much for watching. And if you like it, comment. Let us know if you want to see less of this, more of this. We've been playing other games on the channel a bunch here on YouTube, and people have been digging it. Still like to keep those Magic roots in here, and I just love this set so much. It's such a blast. It's kind of exactly the type of limited I want to be playing, and it's real good, even if opponent is a big baby person. A big baby person. So let's claim that prize. We earned it because we had to deal with big baby person and keep this rolling. This deck is sweet. And it seems to like us. Been giving us good opening hands.
That's wood.
It's not. This fake desk is not wood, I assure you. Zen Chaos. Opponent goes first. We have Visitor into Modern Age. Or Visitor into Azusa's to accelerate. I think if we draw land first, we might want to go Visitor Azusa's. Okay, put it down to 6 cards. They got the fun sleeves rocking.
He's eating him.
Well, no, it's bouncing him on its lap. It's a big sushi roll. No, that's just tape. Or tape.
Taped his mouth shut?
That's nori. It's seaweed. I call it electrical tape as like a joke. I technically call it E-tape. It's an old like Nerf modification forum joke because they always referred to electrical tape as E-tape for speed of explaining modifications on their Nerf guns. That's extra nerdy. You're all welcome. I think Modern Age is correct here over Azusa's because we're not really accelerating into anything at this point. Could be Grove Archer on green-white, though they could try to win with a flyer. So maybe it's just Bearer of Memory, like not doing a whole lot on this battlefield. Next turn, we probably Grafted Growth, put a counter on the Generous Visitor. We could hold a little bit on that. Depends on what opponent does here. They have 4 mana available, so it really depends on how chonky they end up getting here. Grafted Growth. Okay, some counter on their 1/1, and they probably just counterattack here for 2. No, interested in blocks or pumps or things of that nature. Another Generous Visitor into Island. I do want this Island. Kind of want all of these things, so maybe it's just Tanukes that goes. I am green stuck, it is worth noting. So that means we want to do this. Target a land, we will target the forest. It's the biggest Generous Visitor we've had. He's not very generous at all if you think about it. He's just kind of stealing all the counters for himself. It's like tap Tameo Safekeeping.
I was like, why would they do that?
They
don't have mana, though, or do they?
The creature taps for mana.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Do I know this format? Or do I know this format?
They really want their token.
They're down to
alive.
2 cards.
This is strange.
It is a really odd... It feels like they mulliganed, remember. And it feels like their draws haven't gone their way. Because look at this. This is not where you want to be. Yeah, now they're counterattacking. Yikes. Sorry, Oppo. Lucky for them, we're stuck on green, but now we're kind of not. I guess I should have enchanted an island. Okay, so I'm going to go to combat. I'm not intending to put any more counters on this Generous Visitor. Okay. So a 3/3 on the... Oh my gosh. What could this last card be? Favorite you. Do not care. Sorry, Oppo.
Has reach, though. Just so you know.
It does. Now I no longer care. And we have Tanuki coming down next turn to put counters. Yeah, they're in trouble. That's just a bad mulligan into not the like. I imagine they probably kept Spell Light hand and we're just like, this is fine. I have land, and it's good enough. Or vice versa, right? Like land light. Just, I'll play the Jukai, that'll give me, and they just drew nothing but land and grafted. It's just like shit. What am I supposed to do? Sometimes magics you. Vlad, a fitting name for the final boss. They get to go first. It's a slow, or we get to go first, excuse me. It's a slow hand, but I don't think we can throw this away. All of our colors, multiple 3-drops. I just can't foresee us throwing a hand like that away. Oof. First time we've seen one of those tonight. Been lucky. This is a nice draw, though. Draw land next turn would be nice. Not amazing, but nice. Ah, the Black-Red Menace. Okay, we've been waiting for it. Okay. 3 life's nice here. 4th land is definitely acceptable. I think we just want to cuff here. Makes it the hardest for them to attack. Next turn, depending on their plays, we probably want to arrest something. We add a 3/3 to the battlefield, so arresting like the 2/2 with Menace, for example, is pretty good. I don't care about that. They can't attack here. So I think arresting something is probably the correct play, though not necessarily. We could just play Bearer of Memory. Maybe we do that. If I'm gesticulating on targets, then it's probably correct to just play Bearer of Memory here and spread out. If we draw a land next turn, other than Uncharted, we get to Tanuki. And then we can work on arresting from there. But I have a feeling they're going to be like, attack plus tricks and things like that. So we have to consider, like...
They might have that Oni Cult.
Oni Cult Anvil most assuredly in their deck. Remember, this is probably an opponent on no losses, so their deck's probably pretty good.
Do you always go against people with the same record?
It's not the exact same win record always, but the same record typically.
Could double block.
Huh?
I was gonna. Yep, that's what
I have to double block. The captain has Menace. So you get to move the counter to the Searchlight Companion, I take it? Okay. 2 damage? No. Smelter. Okay. Is it just this into Archer? No, Archer blocks, so no reason. We could just destroy the Searchlight Companion. Is this an artifact? No. So I think that's the definitive reason to do it. They can sacrifice the Simian Sling now to make an enchantment that gets blocked, or a creature that gets blocked by our Web Spinner Cuff. Okay, they have the Dragon Spark Reactor. They're down to 1 card in hand. Any draw we have is probably pretty good. If we draw a non-creature spell, I think we can cast it. Except for the 7-drop, because we don't have 2 enchantments in play, we only have 1. Other than that, though... Oh, wow, they're going for it? Just for the reactor counter, mostly? Wow, that's interesting. Okay. I was going to say, or otherwise we likely can cast the card. I don't think we want to attack. We could reconfigure an attack, but then it leaves us open to an attack, so... Mana not super cooperative right now. Like, getting Tanuki down kind of changes everything. But for now, I think we're okay chilling. It's just one card can break the game open for them. It's going to be hard. They're land light. They've only seen 5 land. They haven't, like, drawn and discarded or anything. Alright. I mean, it is what it is. They're tapped out, so... They have to sacrifice it? So it's not like they exile it or anything? Alright. I guess maybe we do that at the end of... With 3/6, we could arrest. We could reconfigure again onto this. This is tough. I kind of don't want to do any of it. And maybe we just chill. 1/4 blocks 3, so we could move this. I'll just reconfigure it to the likeness. We have enough blockers. I'm not super worried about it. Am I willing to attack here? I think so. We kind of need to get him dead. I'm not super interested in trading that off. So hopefully next turn we draw. Island obviously be probably the best draw in the deck. I want to make sure that the reactor can't cap my unspeakable. Nothing to sacrifice. That's good. Don't really think they have attacks. Guidebot's good. That could draw out their removal spell. 4/7 is mighty annoying for them. Just make a 2/2 to block so they can't swing out 1/1s. Six land for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spells. 7 or 8 spells here. 4/2 coming in. I mean, I'll block with my... Is it trample? No, it's just haste.
Looks like a trick.
It seems like it'd be an awkward trick. Just gets lifelink and they get to recur something. So they're going to put damage on it with the Dragonspark Reactor and recur the Dragonspark Reactor. Okay, it's a good move. Not the worst thing that's ever happened to me, but certainly not the best. I need blue. I think we just hold and draw a card. Simeon, sling number 2. So now I can equip on Kami and attack. That's fine. If they do, I think we just take... I don't love taking it. But there's nothing really... We can't double block. We could chump with the Searchlight Companion. I guess we do because I didn't attack with it. Don't think they sacked the sling here. Okay. How generous. Do I just want Tanuki? Guest visitor into Tanuki here. Then this way we can double block the Kami and it can't kill either thing. They can sack that here to the Smelter, which they probably will, I imagine, to draw a card. Yep. Makes sense to me. I'd do it too. Turn a 2/3 into a 3/1 and draw a card. Sounds good to me. Song Shaper.
Didn't attack.
Hmm?
Surprised they didn't attack. What?
You love to whisper.
I'm not purposely whispering.
They're just going to go to 21 here, I wager. It's okay with me.
You draw a card at the end of the turn?
Yes. It's a slight annoyance. Did they go right to combat? Okay, I was going to say, did they go right to combat? I was like, they probably want to hook that centipede onto something, right? Nope. That's surprising. They get a hasty attacker. So they could come in with a bunch of small potatoes. Like the Kami. No? Okay. I figured they'd pressure me a little bit more than that. Wow. I feel like I just got a gift. Okay, that helps. That helps. I think I'd take both, honestly. I think 3/6 is pretty good on this board. I do have 4 modified creatures, so I still get to draw a card for free. Just love to see the opponent draw land here. Be great. They're only on 6. 20 cards versus our 17, and we have 6, 7, 8. Did I bottom any? No. Okay. Up 2 cards, but we are up 3 cards and 2. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted right there. Yep. Okay. Forest. Okay, they're off it. Alright. I do think we had them kind of over a barrel there.
Drawing better.
Drawing cards and putting counters, and they just couldn't deal with it. So, there we go. Nice 7-0. Don't see those too often. To claim our prize here. Woohoo. So, big thanks to everybody for hanging out with us through that video. A little bit of a longer one, but that's how I draft Kamigawa, baby, and that's how you get them 7 wins. Just if you have a chance ever at a point to draft Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, oh, it is so worth your time. It's such a good set for limited. It's just, you can do anything you want. Look through that draft. How many picks were like, oh, we shouldn't play this, oh, we shouldn't play this. There were a lot of decision points and forks in the road, but we still managed to come up with a deck that was pretty darn playable, even on very light removal. Mm-hmm. As long as you can come up with a deck that's executing a plan. There are a lot of good plans. There are a couple that didn't work out quite as well as they intended, but It's an awesome format. I cannot urge you enough to give it a shot, and I want to thank you for taking the time to making it all the way to the end of the video. I have nothing to give you but my admiration. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.